And welcome back to the second part of the sales management system tutorial. So the next thing I want to do now is to create the other framework here, and then we'll start to work on the naming of each component. So let me close this and go straight into the code right underneath these very lines of code here. Let me copy one more text here and paste that right underneath here. And here I'm going to enter txt reset equals text, and that is where I will display the price of every item. So let's say the height is equal to 24 and the width equals 50. Okay, then the border make that 20, and the font, let's just copy this. I'm gonna make the font maybe around 9 or so. Let's say 9 bold, and that's all there is to that. So let's close this here and say dot grid. That would be in row 0 and column equals 0. Close that. Okay, if I run this now, let's see how it's going to look like for now. Before running it, let's correct that, and let's try to run it again and see how it's going to look like. Okay, this is how it looks. I think I must have addressed it wrong. Let's see, this should be, oh no, that should be number 5. So let's run it again. There we go. It's now in the right place. Okay, so let's go for the others. So this one should be in the others should be just buttons. So let's come in here, copy this, and here I'm going to enter buttons. I'm going to need 3 buttons, one total, reset, and exit. So the first button is going to be known as btn total. That equals component button, and that is going to be, let's say we pad it by 6 or 16 by 1, no, 1 by 1 by 1, and BD, the border equals 4, font color equals black. Then we need the font itself. Let's make that font 16. Then the width equals 7 by, so the color is going to be powdered blue. Powdered blue, that's fine. And the text on it, the text on the button is going to be known as total. Right, comma, there's a command. Command is not ready yet, so I'm going to close that. So let's say dot grid equals column 0, row 0, column 0 equals 0 as well. Right, let's just copy this. Oh, wait a minute, we need an area for this. That's going to be ABC 6 comma, right, this one is 5, this one is 6. So let's copy that, paste, and this is going to be known as reset. Let's change the text content here to reset. Why? This one will become column 1, this is column 2, and this is going to be exit. Rename that to exit. Right, I think that's about it. So let's come into here, run it, and see how it's going to look like. There we go, that's how it's looking now. But I like this to actually fill up the whole area. So let's come back in here and maybe increase this to 16. Let's see, the x-axis is increased. Yeah, that's fine. I think that might be a little bit too much. Let me make that 14 and see if that will do it. Okay, that's not too bad. That's a little bit, I don't like the way it is. I might have to settle for that 16, but let's change it to 15 and see how it's gonna look like. Oh, okay, look at this one. There's an error there. Alright, let's do that again. Okay, I'm going to settle for 15. That's good. But now they do nothing. So this is how the framework looks now. It's much better than how it was. Now let's start changing the text content on each of them. I'm going to go to number 2 here. Yeah, this is my number 2. I need to change everything in there. Oh, let's start with the labels first. Alright, with the number 2 ready, the next thing is to change all of these around. So this is going to be known as jacket, blazers. Right, and the text content on it. No, that's the wrong one. Copy that, paste it in here. Yeah. Right. I think this is going to be for men's wear. Right, while this one will be men's. And here, this is jacket, please. That's fine. Then the next one is going to be formal trouser. Formal trousers. Okay, I guess you guys get the whole idea of what I'm trying to achieve here. I'm just changing the names now because it was copied before. So let's run it to see what I'm talking about. There we go. You can see the names are now different. Okay, so I'm going to now speed that up and get back to you guys. Okay, I've finished the development of the lines of codes, so take a very good look at it. Right, those are for the text box, for this, the second part of it, or the third part of it, we have here the receipts and the buttons. Okay, so have a good look at it again. Buttons, that's the receipt. The receipt object is called text. Then I have the labels, the text box. Okay, these are the text, but the labels, the text box. You can always swap it around the choice is yours. The label is right up there, the text box is below. That's fine. Text box up, labels for those text box below. Alright, and this one we have the text box, and then we have the labels. Okay, maybe I should do the same thing for these ones anyway. Let's grab this text box and put it right down, so that you don't get confused. Cut that off and put this here. There. Alright, let's run it and you guys see what I'm talking about. Run and save it first. There we go. This is how the whole system looks now. Right now, that's how it looks. Okay, the next thing I want to do is I need to start writing out my commands so that these three buttons can work. But we also need some variables declared, and those variables that are declared will then be assigned into the text box. So let's come right here. Okay, I already have an area for my variables. I will start with that for the very first variable. So for my very first variable, that's going to be receipt. Let's say receipt reference equals string. There. That's the very first variable. I'm going to be using that for receipt, and what will happen is I will use that to generate random reference number. Then the next one is going to be tax. Paste that. Then let's go for subtotal and paste that as well. I've copied. Then I have total there. And the other thing is going to be for all the items that we're selling. That's going to be Gene. Underscore Jaggins. Then we have the coat underscore jacket. There. So let me speed up the declaration of these variables. Okay guys, the variables are now in place. There they are. Then right here underneath, all of the variables for the item as they've all been initialized 0. So what will happen is, if I supposing I copy this and I go straight to my text box here, right there, I can then enter, let's say we enter text variable. Okay, just enter that in the text variable equals this, which means this very text box will be initialized with 0. Okay, because I've already initialized the variable with 0, so 0 will be added onto this text box. If I run it, you will see what I'm talking about. let's see. It is defined. Let's say the spelling. That is correct. So if I run it again, you guys should be able to see the error because I've spotted the error. I've entered double equals there, which means I'm actually comparing it, so that is not valid. So let's come into the variable here and look for it. There we go. Get rid of that, and that should take care of that error. So let's run it again. There we go. You see, we now have 0 in there. So I'm going to repeat the same thing for the next one, the jacket, the sport, and the dress. So let's copy jacket, copy that, come into where we have jacket right there. I might as well make it consistent. Just enter text variable equals this, comma, done. So the next one is sportswear, so I'm just going to copy that, paste that in there, and change this to sportswear. Paste this here as well, change this to sportswear, copy, sportswear, and this is dresses. Copy that and paste that in there. Right, and let's repeat the same thing for the other ones here. This is just a label. Paste that right there. That is skirt. And the next one here is swimwear, school uniform, and dressing. No, that's pajamas, dressing. Okay, change that. Done. School uniform, change that. Copy, paste that in there, and swimwear, and paste swimwear in there. Okay, that is why I've decided to name each of the components in a consistent manner so that I can copy and now we know which one belongs to which. Right, let's see. Let's run it and see. Decision time. You see that, guys? So that is fine. So I'm going to now repeat exactly the same thing for menswear and homeware. So let's come down in here. We need menswear. Right down here, menswear. So let's enter text variable equals blazer, jacket, blazers. Copy that, paste it there with a comma. Right, now we're going to repeat the same thing for all the others. Let's copy and paste and now and speed it up. Right, that is fine. Okay, that's for the mattress. Paste that in the mattress. We are almost there now. Okay, we have pillowcase. Copy, change that to pillowcase. Now we have bed sheet. Change that to bed sheet. Then we have men's boots. Change that to men's boots. Now we have formal shirt. That becomes formal shirt. I think we are almost there. Then we have formal trousers. Copy there. So I should have zeros in all of those text component now. Let's see. There we go. That is fine. Okay, this is how the second part looks now. So let's run it again. There we go. Okay, maybe I should even change the background to white. Let's come back in here and just get rid of that background. Just take it all off and change the background to white and see. That's for all the text box. Then we can go ahead from there. Let's see how it's gonna look like. Right. Take this off as well. Okay, all done. Check out the text box. This is how they all looks now. And bring it right down. Apart from here, this is just a label. So bring it right down so that you see the other part of it. This is those are the other lines of code for the other text box. So I'm now going to run it. Then you see how it all looks like. This is how it looks like, and I think I like it. So I'm going to make this. I'm just going to leave it the way it is now. And with that, I will call it the end of the second part of this tutorial. See you guys shortly. Bye for now.